A very, very good morning to you, although I'm just like a minute late. It just turned noon 30 seconds ago here in Northern California. And it's just a beautiful day. We've had a lot of rain, dark skies lately, but now it's big, puffy clouds and a cold blue sky, and everything's green. It's green, green, green here in the winter. Camellia blossoms coming out. It's fantastic compared to digging yourself through the ice. I'm so glad that some people find that agreeable. Anyway, those are a few things I know right now. My name is Douglas Truth, and this is the show we call Everything I Know. I've got a Christmas story since it's the day before Christmas, even though you most likely won't see this. I'll tell it anyway. Well, most likely won't see this until later, is what I meant to say. Anyway, my Christmas story has to do with Denny's in a roundabout way. Now, Denny's is very important to me for some reason. I can't figure out why, except that it's where I started my illustrious food service industry career as a cook. I had washed dishes in many a place, and that's what I was doing one day a long time ago in a Denny's restaurant on Lake City Way in Seattle, Washington. And I was washing dishes, and it was a Sunday morning. And the manager, who just happened to be a dwarf, poked his head in and said, "Want to learn how to cook?" And the answer was yes, because I love to cook. I had cooked a lot at home. I learned cooking from my mother, whom I liked to hang around with a lot. And she and my dad went out to dinner. I don't know if it was most nights, but I think it was most nights. Most nights they were gone out. He liked to eat out, and so we were thrown upon our devices a lot. And I was the youngest, so eventually, people get tired of doing certain things. So I just ended up cooking a lot for myself and enjoying it. So I didn't need any. I certainly was tired of dishwashing. So I said to the manager, I can't remember his name. I said, "Sure." So he said, "Get in here." The other cook had cut his hand. It was one of those, that's what happens on a busy day sometimes. They hurry too much and they end up cutting their hand on a meat slicer. Anyway, the manager, who was a dwarf, was going to help me because we needed all hands on deck. But he was very small. So what he did was he set up a row of those blue plastic milk crates on the floor right along the cold side of the kitchen, which looked out through the window at the dining room. And that's the guy who pulls down the tickets and butters the toast and puts cottage cheese or anything cold on there. And the parsley garnish goes on everything. It's mainly slicing and buttering toast on a Sunday morning. And he's running back and forth on tops of these milk crates, barking out the orders. And the thing is, it was a completely new environment in terms of, 6 burners, and there's egg pans going with omelets, and over easy and over medium, and basted and scrambled. There's bacon cooking. You got to get it just right, or else you throw it all out. And there's hash browns spread over the grill in various varying degrees of doneness. And you can't hurry that stuff up. It's got to take its own time. I had a knack for it, and we got through it. It was a Sunday morning. It was already busy when a busload of Boy Scouts pulls up. It was epic on a small scale. It's epic. It was the kind of epic that you would write about, you would read about in a sword and sorcerer fantasy. Except the young lad would have been born into it. Would have been something, noble and high. But it was like I was born to be a short order cook, in those days at least. So that was a great day, a great triumph we all took part in here at the restaurant. Now, the thing about Denny's, I was, in my younger years, I was on the road a lot. Meaning, I would live in a town for a while and then I would move on. And I didn't have very many friends, if any, along the way. The people that I worked with were generally my friends. And now, see, the thing, and now Denny's is, so, like I said, is very important to me. It shows up. It's like most of the action in my show, An Intimate Evening with Death Herself, takes place in a Denny's, kind of like My Dinner with Andre or something like that. And it's where the action takes place. It's really important. There's something about a Denny's, and I guess where that really sunk in was, besides working the graveyard shift, which is basically the bardo in those places, Christmas and holidays, but mainly Christmas. I think that most people didn't want to work on Christmas Day. They wanted to be back with their families, but I didn't. So I was very happy to get the Christmas shift. And the thing is, Denny's is always open. That's why Todd, aka Death himself, loves Denny's, because they're always open, just like Death is. You know, we're there to do business any time of the day or night, 365 days a year. You can count on us. There were doors always open at a Denny's. And so on Christmas Day, all the lonely people, and I don't mean that disparagingly at all, it's just the way it is for some of us, sometimes, would converge in the Denny's, and it would be a very, very special place. It was like we knew there was homes, you know, with stockings over the fireplace and people making dinner for each other and singing Christmas carols or whatever, you know, or to the another culture would be that great video of Christmas with a Family, which is kind of like a trailer version of Beautiful Christmas Day, like, you know, girlfriend's going to the 7-Eleven for tampons and vodka, you know, that's one of the lyrics. It's good stuff. Anyway, you know, the Christmas in the Denny's is just another environment. Everybody is, we're all together, which is like, I think, you know, that would be one of my, if I was at my deathbed saying, you know, okay, what's it all about? One slogan is all you get. It will be, we're all in it together. My catalog, I might qualify for that. We're all in it together, and that's the way it felt in those Denny's. It was like these lonely people, and we're all just there together, celebrating the solstice. The days will be longer now. So anyway, that's my Christmas tale. I'm glad I'm not working in a Denny's today, and I'm glad I've got friends and family, and I'll be table hopping from Christmas dinner to Christmas dinner around the town, having a wonderful time, and I hope you do too. Christmas means tamales to me, and my dad, who was born on today, the 24th of December, a long time ago. His middle name was Noel, because of that. And maybe one of the reasons he was so cranky was because he got like, you know, like 0.6 times the number of presents that people usually get growing up, because his Christmas and birthday was like all one deal. All one deal. And then you're not going to get double the presents on that one day. You know, so maybe that was it, besides his bad back. I'm going to keep telling more stories like this, stories of how and where and when I grew up and what happened to me on the road and all those adventures at the El Portal Motel and crossing into Juarez with no money and ending up, you know, and the policeman wanting to take my typewriter away, taking my typewriter to the pawn shop, floods of tears splashed on the counter. Finally lent me the $50 I needed to pay my rent. Yeah, so it's a long journey. I hope you feel the same. I feel like it just gets more and more interesting all the time. And it's like I'm almost 60 now, and it's like, yes, it's just starting to click. You know, it's just not like having it figured out. No, just the joy of knowing, starting to get a glimpse of the outlines of the shape of this thing we're trying to figure out. Pardon me, there's a flying saucer outside the window. Get out of here, you guys. You know, stop bothering me. But that's it. That's a Christmas tale for today. I hope you like it. I hope you like the new format. We're going to be working hard on getting my other show, An Intimate Evening with Death herself, on the road and on video at the same time. Dorothy's been clamoring to get her own YouTube channel, and she's finally going to get it. I believe it's going to be called, above all of our other, I mean, the Me and the Minions did not like this name, but she stuck with it. It's Dorothy Vision. Dorothy Vision, I think, is going to be the name of the channel, unless we can prevail upon her to choose something more sensible. Anyway, my name is Douglas Truth, and that is by far, you know, pretty much everything I know. I really hope you have a great holiday, a great solstice, a great rest of your life, and I couldn't mean that more. Take care.